Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So I'm going to start today by shuffling the energy oracle cards. And while I'm shuffling, if you would like to receive a more specific message from the reading, I do recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as these are forms of virtual energetic transference that do tend to allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. Okay, so right at the bottom of the deck, even before I started shuffling, we have man holding a heart in the upright position, and we also have the third eye chakra card. And in connection with this, we have the thinking woman. So I strongly feel as though I am picking up on a divine feminine here. So although, of course, we all have a balance internally of both divine feminine and divine masculine energy, I'm picking up that you are most likely someone who resonates more so with their divine feminine. Now, of course, I always say to use your own intuition. So if that isn't connecting for you, then maybe these labels are actually reversed for you in the reading. But for the majority here, you are more so the divine feminine, and the person coming through here is a masculine that you've been feeling yourself intuitively connecting with. There's something very subtle about the way that the two of you have been connecting. I don't know if there's been a physical component to this connection. For some of you, there may have been, but I'm getting that most of the way in which the two of you are connecting is happening through the subconscious mind. It's as though this masculine is intuitively sensing you or feeling drawn to you on a soul level. For some of you, there might be some kind of light connection between the two of you in the physical, meaning that you might be connected through social media, through some kind of virtual means. Maybe you see each other in passing, or you walk in some of the same spaces in the physical realm, or some of the same social circles, because I feel that this masculine does know of you most likely in the physical in some sense, regardless of whether you have met this person or know them very well. This is someone who deeply admires and feels drawn to your mind, to entering the depths of your mind, to your intelligence with the thinking woman in the upright position. And again, the way that they are feeling pulled to you is happening at an extremely subconscious and psychic level. I'm getting as well with appreciation reversed that this masculine appreciates something about you that many people have either dismissed, underestimated, or underappreciated in the past. So there's some quality about you. Maybe it is the depths of your mind, how deeply you think about things, your wisdom, your intelligence. You've encountered individuals who underestimate a quality about you that this masculine deeply admires and feels drawn to. It's like they see something and admire something in you that others have just been dismissive about. With victory in the upright position, I feel the more that you are cultivating and self-admiring in a sense, this quality about yourself that others may have dismissed or underestimated or misunderstood, the more that you and this masculine are being drawn together in a more conscious 3D way. So it's almost as though the more you connect in with this aspect of yourself that others may have misunderstood or underestimated, the more that you cultivate this. And also, I'm hearing love on this part of yourself. Connect your self love to this aspect that others haven't been able to grapple with or understand. The more that you and this masculine are actually being pulled together physically, the more likely you are to be communicating consistently, to be crossing paths in the physical realm and forming some kind of long-term or deep connection physically. Now, of course, this could be a romantic situation, platonic, or a business kind of connection. However, it resonates for you personally. This also could be somehow connecting with your internal self. So, for some of you listening, if we're speaking to your internal divine masculine and divine feminine aspects, then I would say here that the more you love and nurture some part of yourself that's extremely valuable but that was dismissed by others, the more you draw together your internal masculine and feminine aspects. And I am going to be doing a video soon on the power of harmonizing and integrating and balancing your internal divine feminine and divine masculine, because balancing your internal masculine and feminine creates this solid foundation that quite literally can create or open the door to what we think of as quantum leaps in your life. It can allow you to shift your reality very quickly. So it's very much a key to manifesting powerfully, quickly, and effectively in your life. So we'll be talking about that in a future video here, but I want to know a bit more on anything else that your guides, your higher self, the divine, whatever cosmic forces you personally connect with, need you to know at this time. Something is being shaken up with the storm warning card sitting on the solar plexus chakra. I feel someone is shaking up their routine, or maybe your life has felt shaken up. Maybe something has thrown you out of your regular routine. Or maybe you internally made a conscious choice about shifting some of those routines for some reason. I'm just getting the sense of something being shaken up in your life, whether you are the one doing that reorganization for some conscious reason, or whether it feels as though it's happening to you externally. Either way, I'm hearing there's this rearrangement taking place in your life. Can I get more information on this rearrangement? Okay, you are planting some powerful seeds in a new direction with blossoming abundance in the upright position and indecision. Ooh, I heard you shifted onto a new timeline, and someone has to make a choice whether they're going to shift with you. I know this is going to be a very specific download for someone listening. I don't know who this is for, but for someone listening, you were connecting with a person on their timeline. I'm getting chills all over while I'm channeling this. This is going to be so powerful for someone. But you were connecting with someone on their timeline, meaning I'm hearing you visited their timeline. There's so much to be said here and so much to be discussed about timelines that hopefully we'll get into in future videos. But for the sake of continuing this thread of energy in this reading, we will just say that you visited this person's timeline, but it wasn't your home timeline, meaning it wasn't really your most authentic core timeline, your timeline that aligns with your most core soul frequency. So you visited this person's timeline by shifting your energy into a place that was a little bit unnatural for you or a little bit new for you. And when you were on that timeline, you may have noticed, yes, you connected deeply with this person, but also certain other things in your life felt very chaotic or confusing during that time. You may have experienced things in your life that don't typically happen to you. You may have experienced strange interactions with others, or maybe when you would go out, you almost felt invisible to the people around you, like you just weren't being perceived or weren't fully being registered by people on that timeline. And you may have even had this sense that you were somehow in the wrong reality. This is all because you were visiting a timeline that wasn't really resonating with your core soul frequency, and you were on a spiritual level guided to do this, probably subconsciously. You weren't most likely doing this intentionally, but you dipped into this timeline briefly for the purpose of connecting with this person. This could be a friend, a family member, an acquaintance, a business partner, whoever. I'm getting it is romantic for a lot of you though. And so you connected with this person, but a lot of your life felt a bit chaotic, confusing. It's almost like you felt like you fell through the cracks dimensionally a little bit for a period of time. And you and this person deeply connected on that timeline. You shared some of your energy with them. You may have felt guided to be more vulnerable or open with them than you usually are. However, again, this wasn't your home frequency timeline. This wasn't your most authentic timeline. So now you are shifting back to a more core state timeline, to a more natural timeline for you, where you're going to notice things in your life feeling as though they're really looking up, turning in the right direction. You might feel like you're in a lucky energy, but it's not really luck. Luck doesn't really exist. It's alignment of energies. It's you being on the quote unquote right timeline, so to speak. But this person that you visited on a different timeline has to make a choice as to whether they are going to come with you to your timeline in order to continue connecting with you. So I know this is getting extremely complex. We are talking at a very quantum level here. I also know this won't be for everyone. But for whoever I'm speaking to, one way that you will know this message is for you specifically is that you noticed all of a sudden in like a snap instant, maybe overnight, maybe in a day, this person began to drop out of your life, or you felt like the energy with them was very off. They may have not been communicating with you as much. They may have kind of just seemed disconnected or detached all of the sudden, when prior to this there was this rhythm, this routine of connection that felt really solid and really stable. However, at the same time, you noticed simultaneously in correlation to this person dropping out of your life, many things in your life started to really turn in the right direction. Maybe you started feeling better, you started feeling more happy, more optimistic, more empowered. Maybe you started manifesting some specific things in your life, or getting a lot of good opportunities or connection points, or just feeling more connected with your world again. This is because you shifted back into your core state timeline, and now this person that you so-called visited, as we're saying it, trying to find the human words to describe very quantum experiences that so many of you are familiar with, and you know personally it can be difficult to find those 3D words to describe these really high-level energetic experiences. But you've brought this person to a decision point, because if they're going to keep connecting with you on a stable basis consistently, they are going to have to come with you, in a sense, to your timeline. They're going to have to shift their energy. So there's this period of limbo where you might feel this person dropping out of your life or you feel disconnected. You're being asked not to worry about this, not to stress about this, because this doesn't have anything to do with you. It's not something you said, it's not something you did. It's that it was time for you to return back to your core state timeline, your more authentic timeline, where you are the happiest, where you are the most empowered. You gave this person a seed of inspiration, and now they're going to have to decide what to do with it. And they're at that decision point right now. So the word insecurity is coming up. One major blockage that they've been experiencing to coming with you to your timeline is that this is someone who's been dealing with a lot of insecurities. So what are these insecurities coming up for this person? So they see themselves as a page of cups here. Someone who is at the beginning of something. Someone who's trying to make an offer, but it feels like a very small offer. They see you as being the 9 or 10 of cups. So being in this wish fulfillment, having all of your cups full, so to speak. And here they are with this one little cup in their mind, and they're wondering, what do I really have to add to your life? What do I really have to offer here? And so, in order for this person to continue connecting with you on your timeline, they are going to have to transcend their own logic that's causing them to feel insecure, because as long as they're seeing this from a purely material 3D perspective, they're going to see this connection as transactional, and they're going to think, you have so much going on for you. What do I really have to offer? But if they can transcend that logic and reason that is so limiting, they would be able to understand on a deeper level that what's happening between the two of you is an energy connection. It's a soul thing. It's meant to be mutually uplifting and inspiring and passionate in some way. Again, whether this is platonic, romantic, whatever. But this person has to move beyond their logic-based, 3D-based insecurity when they're looking at this connection from a purely 3D kind of perspective. Okay, so how else does this person perceive themselves? The hermit, someone who spends a lot of time alone. This person has definitely been alone quite a bit lately, and in fact, I feel them having spent a lot of time alone prior to the two of you meeting or connecting is part of the reason that the two of you were able to connect in the physical world, part of why they manifested you visiting their timeline, because they were beginning to explore through this solitude the depths of their own energy and their own mind, even though they didn't consciously recognize that that's what they were doing. They were meant to release some kinds of deep fears within them that were coming up through this solitude, and it's almost like they manifested you into their timeline to assist them in this process of coming into deeper levels of truth. Yeah, because you are the Empress and the Six of Wands. You are someone really in this thriving state. Someone who's, I'm hearing, really centered and grounded themselves. I'm hearing you make life look easy. I'm not sure if that's a specific message for someone. Maybe this person feels as though you make it look so easy to be so thriving or so happy or so creative, so receptive. I almost feel this person consciously or subconsciously recognized you in that energy, and it's almost like they wanted to get some wisdom or insight or guidance into how you were doing it, but then they felt these triggered insecurities coming up because they got kind of over involved emotionally or over attached. This person has been feeling themselves getting more attached, and that's part of why they pulled back here. And you left back to your core state timeline. And now they're going to have to decide, are they going to pursue you? And in pursuing you, or pursuing communicating with you, are they going to go on this journey, in a sense, this journey of discovering more of themselves? Yeah, they have to decide, is this going to be a celebration or a regret with the Three of Cups or the Four of Cups? Because this is either going to be a very celebratory, happy time. I keep hearing a reunion or a union or coming together, even if it's not romantic. This would be the two of you meeting up, spending time together, developing a warm, happy bond here. Is that going to be the choice that they make, or are they going to refuse this offer with the Four of Cups? Are they going to sit in this stagnant energy, focusing on the negative aspects here, which is really coming from being too fixated on what's happening in the 3D between the two of you and not allowing themselves to connect in with what their soul is sensing here? And they are the only one who can make this choice. I'm hearing apathy or connection. That is what this person is choosing between, whether they're going to treat you with apathy and refuse this offer, or whether they are going to choose to deepen this very happy connection. I keep getting that however the two of you have connected has been really happy. It's been really fun, really beautiful. You might have certain things in common, a shared sense of humor. This person finds talking to you extremely interesting, intellectually stimulating, very fun, but they have to decide whether they are worthy of having that, whether they're able to overcome their own insecurities of feeling like they don't have enough to offer you in this bond, or whether they are going to let their insecurities win and keep them stuck, at least for now, on their current apathetic, lonely timeline trajectory. So I'm going to go ahead and reshuffle here. I'm hearing after you plant the seed, detach. So I feel that was a very specific and personal message for someone. You will know how that connects. Maybe this is about something you're manifesting, like once you plant the seed of an intention and you visualize it or do whatever manifestation techniques that you use for it. It's like once you plant the seed, allow yourself to detach from it. It reminds me of the Neville Goddard teaching around, I just saw the Temple Path card at the bottom of the deck after I shuffled, so we will be getting into that. That's a beautiful energy. But it's this idea of planting the seed of an idea, a manifestation, a connection, and then having the faith to drop it into the fertile soil and leave it alone, detach from it. You will not grow a seed by continuing to pull it out of the ground. Obviously, we all know that when it comes to gardening, but manifesting and even connecting with others can often be the same way. So this is very interesting because I was just reading an excerpt from Neville Goddard earlier today about this very concept. And if I remember, I will leave this quote from one of his books in the description box under the video so you can reference it exactly. But in essence, he was saying that once you drop the seed into the fertile ground, you must detach from it and not speculate as to how or when it's going to grow, but leave it alone and trust that it will grow into what it's going to be. And I'm hearing a little faith goes a long way. So know that even just having a little faith in yourself or in an idea, in the Bible they called it the faith of a mustard seed, is enough to grow into something extremely powerful. Interesting. So maybe this connects for you with something else that you're manifesting, something that you're doing in your life, and there is this message around, I'm hearing also being able to detach from your creations once you create them. So if you are a creative type, maybe there's a message coming up around allowing yourself to create from that inspired place and then detach from your creations, meaning kind of put them out into the universe or share them or whatever you feel guided to do with them, and then allow them to grow into what they're going to be energetically without interfering with that process through doubt or worry or tendencies to over control or hyperfixate. Now, for others of you, this may have to do with a vision, a manifestation, something that you desire to see in your physical reality. And it's a message of once you do your manifestation technique, whatever that is for you, whether it's meditating, visualizing, affirmations, allow yourself to detach, to go about your day just holding that trust within you that this thing is going to manifest. Allow yourself to shift into that reality, to feel it in your being without needing to know the timing of it, without needing to control the circumstances around it. Now, of course, for some of you, maybe this specifically applies to this person and this connection that's been coming up. Like you planted a seed with this person, you visited their timeline, you gave them some kind of inspiration, and this is going to grow into what it's going to be. Leave it alone, detach from it, and see how it grows. With all tied up and the crown chakra, I see once again it's like what this person is choosing between this all tied up card, the stuckness, the stagnancy, or the crown chakra card, a powerful spiritual activation and shift. I'm hearing things have reached a tipping point in this bond or this connection where you've planted so much of a seed within this person that it's actually begun a spiritual awakening, a spiritual activation in them. But they have to decide if they're going to resist and shut down that activation, and in doing so, keep themselves on that lonely timeline, or whether they are going to simply relax, let go, and allow that activation to continue within them, to continue growing into what it's going to be without overthinking it. And again, you are most likely seeing a lot of these themes playing out in your own life around setting intentions, planting a seed, and then detaching, whether that's in your friendships, your relationships, your work, your business, your passions, your manifestations, whatever this is for you personally. There's a lot of power in that messaging. So I'm going to go ahead and reshuffle here, and yeah, whoever this is coming up, they're very much at the moment in a lack mentality. If you've felt this person pulling away, if you haven't heard from them, they've been in very much a negative headspace at this time. That's not to say that they won't ultimately choose to allow this spiritual activation and to connect with you more consistently, but right now it's almost like they're kind of turned in on themselves. They're resisting some of their own expansion here with the World card reversed. And this doesn't have anything to do with you. Know that just as we said, my guides just confirmed so many of the messages with the Blossoming Abundance card, because even though this person is right now in a lack mentality, they are right now resisting their own expansion. Blossoming Abundance literally pictures on this card a garden. And so that seed has been planted. That seed has been planted within this person, in their mind, in their energy. And even though at the moment they might be in a bit of a lack mentality, I feel ultimately, eventually, they're going to allow that spiritual activation that you've sparked within them, because we did just get the crown chakra card here in the upright position. But know that if you feel temporarily disconnected from this person or situation, that's because you have a lot of work to be doing on the planet. You have a strong purpose here. And in order to be doing what you came here to do, whether it's something creative, whether it's simply an energy that you are exuding, a way that you are interacting and showing up with others, you have work to do on the planet. And in order to do that, you are of necessity realigning with your core authentic state energy, and therefore the timeline that correlates with that core energy. So yeah, this person is going to have to make a choice with indecision in the upright position. I do feel at the moment, if they seem especially stuck, it's because they're overwhelmed by something happening in their life. I feel this has to do with their family relationships or social circle. There are things going on that have them really focused on the physical right now, really overwhelmed, and that's part of why they're turning in on themselves. They don't really have the spare energy at the moment to process this activation spiritually. So, with door to romance reversed, you may feel as though they've shut the door on you, when really they're just feeling overwhelmed by their life. And again, just because they aren't making the choice at the moment to allow that spiritual activation to continue might just mean that they're currently processing the energy, dealing with some things in their physical life, and ultimately may reconnect with you or join you on the frequency of that more harmonious timeline that I see you having really realigned yourself with at this point. Now, I have to say, as we kind of shift focus in this reading, I feel you aligning with this authentic core frequency timeline is extremely powerful for so many reasons in your personal life. So, as I said, you might have noticed things beginning to shift, things beginning to look up or go better, or maybe connections being forged in your work or your friendships or just socially. If you're not yet seeing this, you're going to be seeing that very soon, and that's just going to continue culminating because I'm seeing a lot of really beautiful alignments and powerful manifestations coming through because you've shifted back onto this timeline. So we will be channeling more into that in the extended version of the reading on Patreon, which, as you guys know, I channel these collective readings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on those times and days, I do channel extended Patreon readings as well. So if you do feel guided to join our Patreon Soul Tribe to access this extended reading and any other additional details and pieces of information that want to come through that reading, then the link to do so is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. But for now, I'm going to close this reading with the card Sacred Phoenix Heart. So let's read a guidebook message here. Under the cover of blood, love veils many rose gardens. In total faith, love tenderly guides every lover to the garden of the heart. Reason says the world is limited in 6 directions. There is no way out. Love says there is a way, and I have traveled it many times. Rumi. The guidebook also says, love guides us through travails that seem improbable, if not impossible. It does not shy away from any challenge, from any cause. It cannot. It is just love's way. Love says to us, there is always another way. You are receiving this guidance now. Let life move you. Be prepared to let the old version of your life pass away into the new life being born. Life wants to happen through you, blazing angel. You don't have much to do other than get out of your own way. Love is your nature. Let it flourish and let life unfold accordingly. So I'm going to close the reading there. Thank you so much again for tuning in today. I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. Of course, if you do resonate with the channel, then I invite you to subscribe, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more energy updates, inspiration, and information. Of course, if you do want to join me now on the extended Patreon reading where I will be heading to next, the link to do so is in the pinned comment and description box under the video. Otherwise, I hope you have a magical, wonderful remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next reading. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading. So I know that this is outside of my typical posting schedule, but you guys know that in between my main collective reading videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I often like to record what I refer to as mini readings, which are these sort of in between reading videos. So I am going to go ahead and start by shuffling the traditional tarot cards and getting into the reading. Okay, so the first card that I have here is actually the Eight of Wands in the reverse position. And the affirmation on this card says, I embrace patience and clarity amidst delays and confusion. So it was my intention to leave this reading a little bit open-ended just to allow whatever wanted to come through. And I'm actually getting a message related to someone's life path, and I'm actually hearing someone's soul path. I am getting the letters A, R, U, B, and Y, so those could be in someone's first or last name here. But what I'm getting here is this sense of wanting to rush ahead into something and then feeling delayed or feeling held back in some way. I'm getting like this wave of chills. So I know that this is connecting with someone in a meaningful way. But I'm getting this energy of chaos and maybe even a little bit of panic around this sensation of trying to push forward into something and then feeling pulled back again. And I feel that for the person I'm tuning into here, this is almost creating a sort of cycle of frustration where you're trying to push ahead into something, to create something, to do something, and then suddenly it's almost like you feel stopped or delayed or held back from being able to do that. You feel sabotaged. That's the word I was looking for. Almost like you're being sabotaged energetically somehow from moving forward in some way. But I'm picking up that there's actually something much deeper going on here. So while something feels stuck, I feel like there's clarity that can only be received through this period of time where something is feeling very stuck. I'm getting that if you try to move forward and you feel delayed or sabotaged or like you're just being pulled back again, it might be because where you are precisely right now actually still has more to teach you. And sometimes this teaching doesn't even happen on a conscious level, it's a subconscious integration. Now, I know that we are already getting very quantum right away in this reading, which has been happening a lot lately if you've been following the channel, but I feel that some of you are actually manifesting through more of those quantum level messages. I got the name Lori or Laurel, Lauren maybe for someone. I'm also seeing beads, like maybe a bead necklace or something in my mind's eye. So this is very interesting because this actually relates to a message that I was downloading but hadn't really found the words to describe earlier today. And this message was actually around our, sorry, I'm getting like comfortable in my chair here. But this message was actually around soul contracts and how sometimes we can get frustrated within a soul contract because we don't understand why someone is still in our lives. Now, I don't know if your particular situation relates to a specific person, but this could be a friend, a family member, an employer. really it doesn't even have to be a person because we can have a soul contract even with an environment, with a job, with a location. And a message coming through really strongly is that if you're still in something and every time you try to move out of it, there's all of this feeling of tension and resistance that comes up, even if consciously it makes sense to move away from it, you just can't for some reason. You feel like you just have to be where you are. Like it's just not the right time to move away from whatever that person, thing, circumstance, job, environment is. The reason for this may be because you actually still have a soul contract with that particular person or thing. And because that soul contract is still active, the two of you, or again, it could be an environment that you're interacting with, but regardless, you have something to contribute to each other and to teach each other. And there's still more energy to be integrated from that person or from that experience. Now, on the flip side of this, when the soul contract ends or is completed or fulfilled, we will notice that people fade out of our lives really quickly, almost uncontrollably. Now, of course, this isn't something to fear. It's not like there aren't people that we have lifelong soul contracts with, because, of course, many of our contracts are actually meant to continue evolving and expanding and growing. They don't have these kinds of deadlines, so to speak, but there are certain temporary soul contracts in our lives that when that purpose is completed, that person just fades out of our life almost like they were never even on our timeline or in our reality. And many of us have experienced this. I got the letters STON and E, which of course spells stone. I don't know if that's someone's name or something along those lines, but I'm just getting this sense of someone almost feeling like they're running in place, like exerting a lot of energy to be somewhere different than they are, or to transplant themselves somewhere else, or to get out of something, and yet they feel very stuck. They feel like that energy expended is getting them nowhere. And the message coming through here so strongly is the reason you feel as though you're running in place, so to speak, is because the divine is keeping you exactly where you are for a reason. Now, I just saw 1111 in my mind's eye. Of course, if you are listening to this video near the time and day that I'm posting it, it is the 8th of November today, as of when I'm posting this video from where I am located currently. So, of course, it could be a different time or day where you live, depending on where you are in the globe, and you also could be tuning in after the date of this initial release of the video. But we are coming up on the 11th of November. I really am feeling guided to do a video on the 1111 portal because the energy of the 11th of November is actually incredibly powerful. And if you stumbled across this video, maybe it was to actually trigger something within you that would remind you of the powerful, potent energy of 1111. And I specifically heard intention. So maybe this is a wonderful time to, instead of expending so much energy to try and move yourself to a different situation, to actually pause and breathe and set some clear intentions for what you desire to experience in your life and just release them to the universe without that expenditure of effort. Specifically, doing this around 1111 will make those intentions infused with an even greater kind of power. So do let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing a video on the 1111 portal specifically. I would love to share more information about that. But also, if you do want to contribute your energy to in a stronger way to this channel, and also be notified whenever I post new readings, then I do invite you to subscribe, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. I am so grateful for this beautiful, growing, expanding community that we have here. Okay, so there's something about pausing and seeing your reflection. So I got the name Timothy for someone. So there could be something coming up here about how being stuck where you are is actually allowing you to pause and reflect. But I'm hearing this isn't in a self-critical way. This is to allow you to see a layer deeper into something. And right as I said that, we have the Ten of Wands when I was kind of setting the intention for what you are reflecting on about yourself. And of course, the Ten of Wands relates to a sense of being overburdened or over responsible or really weighting you down. And I so clearly heard what is weighting you down that you no longer need to carry. Now, normally I would say the word weighing you down, not weighting you down. But of course, weighting is could also be spelled Waiting, and we think of that as waiting for something. So maybe these dynamics are somehow connected, like the burden that you've been carrying is also keeping you feeling as though you are delayed or waiting for something. I'm hearing this is too heavy to carry into the next phase of your life. So for someone listening, you might be trying to move into another phase of your life without releasing some kind of burden, something that's been weighing you down energetically that has to be released before you can fully move into this next phase of your life. Because as we shift into higher and higher vibrational realities and timelines, we can no longer carry as much heavy, dense programming and psychological weight. It's reminding me of In the Power of Now, which I've talked about this book before. Of course, I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't read it. But in that book, the author talks about psychological weight of the past and the present. So I'm almost seeing here this message around releasing this psychological burden of some kind that's weighing you down energetically and actually keeping you stuck, not to sabotage you, but to give you a moment to actually reflect deeper, to release this burden, and to move more efficiently and harmoniously into that next level of your life, so to speak. So I'm going to channel a little more from this card, but it's interesting. I'm just picking up the sense of a lot of responsibility. So maybe you're feeling really responsible in general in your life, but I'm getting it's responsible for things that you actually can't control. So this is different than personal responsibility for your own life. Whatever you're feeling burdened by or responsible for are things that you feel that you actually have no control over. And this is what is making them so much of a psychological burden, because they are things that you feel that you are responsible for, but that you also can't really do anything about. And I feel that that is part of why this is weighing so heavily on your energy. I'm picking up something specific about the shoulder area. So maybe someone is carrying a lot of tension right now in their neck and shoulders, and you might find it beneficial to do some stretching exercises or yoga or something along those lines to kind of release some of that tension. Sorry, I had to pause there for a second, but I am going to go ahead and channel a bit more into what is trying to manifest in this next phase of your life, because as you release this psychological weight or this burden that's been weighing you down, I am really curious how you're going to actually be shifting into this powerful new phase of your life. But first, if you are dealing with this energy dynamic and this is connecting for you, I really recommend a couple subliminals that I've created. One is called Seven Chakra Clearing, the other is called Ultimate Alchemist Transformation. Now, these two subliminals combined are incredibly powerful because the seven chakra clearing is a really comprehensive, deep level energy clearing tool designed to clear out any blockages you might be storing subconsciously in any of the seven chakra centers. This will help you feel so much more clear and grounded and stable and ready to move forward powerfully and with clarity into this really magnificent new phase of your life. The Ultimate Alchemist transformation is actually one of my favorites, however, because it really addresses many different areas of life from money to success to physical appearance to how you connect with others to love. And it's really designed to get you aligned with your absolute ideal dream timeline in all of these areas of your life. So, you guys know I'm so passionate about subliminals because they tap into the subconscious mind, which is actually the powerhouse of the mind. I've manifested so many things into existence in my life using subliminals on a daily basis. So I now have created and am sharing my own library of them through my app, Sound and Soulful, which is now available in both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. So you can find it by searching Sound and Soulful in the app stores. You can also download it directly by clicking the link in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. And when you sign up in the app, you can create your own custom private playlists. You can listen to any subliminal I've created in 10 different background sound options. You can also read the affirmations while you are listening. So to get started, you can click the link that I've left underneath this video. Okay, so let's talk about what's coming in this new powerful phase of your life. I really, really love the energy here. Okay, so the first card here is the Eight of Swords reversed. So I just felt this like drop in my stomach, like when you're on a roller coaster and you're going down a hill. Maybe a roller coaster is a significant imagery for someone. I'm also seeing a pine tree for some reason. Now, you guys know I do like to look up these symbols when they come up in the reading, so I am going to channel a bit more into that pine tree symbolism. Of course, this also could resonate with some of the holidays coming up here if you do celebrate Christmas and other seasonal sorts of holidays and activities coming up in November and December. But I also want to channel a bit more specifically from this Eight of Swords card. And the strongest word that I'm getting from this card is freedom. That the greatest manifestation that you are going to be experiencing in this new phase of your life is your own freedom. And I feel that this is freedom from that psychological burden that we were talking about, but I feel that actually it goes even deeper than that. I feel that you're freeing yourself from other things and dynamics as well in ways that you might not even fully expect. So we are going to be channeling into that. But I also feel this freedom itself gives you a brand new perspective on yourself and your life. So now I'm actually looking at that pine tree symbolism we were talking about. So this is about eternity, immortality, and eternal life. It's interesting because when you think of something going on continuously, I'm thinking of the infinity symbol, which, of course, I like to relate with this channel and with our collective. It's a symbol of longevity and endurance. Ooh, this is interesting. Its ability to withstand harsh conditions, its steadiness and resilience. So I feel that you're really being admonished to acknowledge your own resilience through something. This could be through that situation that has felt really heavy on you. I'm yearning to acknowledge the toll something has taken on you, the weight that it's been for you to carry, so that you can give yourself permission to release it. Because the sense that I'm almost getting here is someone is experiencing certain negative symptoms mentally or emotionally, and they seem completely random, and they're telling themselves, why am I feeling this way? I shouldn't be feeling this way. But I'm getting that book, The Body Keeps the Score, by the way. Maybe that book is relevant for you. But it's also interesting. There's something here about the mind-body connection and how you are manifesting these negative experiences or sensations as a result of something that you've psychologically been carrying around, but that you're telling yourself isn't really that heavy or shouldn't be affecting you that much. But it's actually been a lot heavier. It's weighing on you a lot more than I feel you've allowed yourself to acknowledge. And somehow just acknowledging that, I feel, gives you the permission to set it down, to release it. The affirmation on this Eight of Swords reverse card says, new truths guide me to a deeper understanding and acceptance. I heard something about putting down a weapon and putting down a sword, giving up a fight. So maybe there's some kind of internal conflict or maybe an external sort of disagreement or conflict with another person. And you are being guided just to let go of the need to rationalize or figure this out or prove something or prove your case to someone or to a situation that really isn't your responsibility anyway, that is just leaking some of your powerful, beautiful energy that could be invested in another direction. Yeah, I feel like this is you seeing some kind of new path that becomes very clear to you. I heard 3 days, so this may actually indicate that as of 3 days of when you see this video within the next 3 days, you may actually be having the experience of a new pathway here becoming very clear and evident to you, and I'm hearing no other way. So it's like you realize a way forward, but it's because of a shift energetically that you've made within yourself. But I actually feel some of you listening may make that shift within yourself as a result of some kind of realization that has been triggered within you during this reading. So that might actually be why you manifested forth this video today. So, wow, that is feeling like such a powerful place to close the reading. Thank you so much to all of you who have brought your beautiful, powerful energy to this space. I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. If anything here did connect with you personally, I would love to hear from you in the comments section. Of course, I also invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more energy updates, inspiration, and information. And of course, if you do want to start reprogramming, rewiring your own subconscious mind, manifesting your dreams, becoming magnetic for what you desire in life, then the link to download my Subliminals app to help you do that is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. I hope you have a magical, amazing rest of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.